Welcome back to another episode here on the Richter Show. Today we are in the city of Lviv in Ukraine.
Now we are going to visit the Ancient History of Ukraine Museum. Now I do have to mention that there are a lot of museums in Lviv. You can spend multiple days in Lviv just going from museum to museum. So you will never get bored of museums here. Either way, let's get back to this one. So you can notice that there were some swords, some spears. This is all original stuff. There might be some replicas here and there, but for the most part, a lot of it is actual original items. And either way, on the explanations, it will tell you if it is or if it's not. But there are so many little artifacts on this one. Once again, like I always say, there's no way for me to show every single piece in the museum. If not, these videos will be extremely long. I just try to summarize everything. So in this episode, I will show you at least 3 museums from all the ones that are here. But you can see these amazing old pieces. I think it's called a mosaic. And this one, it's missing some pieces of it though, but for the most part, you can tell the rest of the figure. There's a lot of Christianity, Catholicism items all around the museum. So religion does play a big part into their culture and into their history. So you will see a lot of it. This one had multiple levels of floors and it had a lot of items. I would just encourage you to come and see it all for yourself so you can actually admire all the items that they have. Now let's move on to the Dominican Church and Monastery. This one was actually unique. I got a little confused when I first got here because I saw the church, but I was looking for the museum, and then I figured that it was the door that was a little bit to the left where the museum actually was, right there where I'm looking at right now. And it wasn't the main entrance of where the church was. Either way, I did check the church out since I was already there. But before we go inside, let me show you this that they have outside. And it's, once again, you see this all over Ukraine. It's like a sort of like memorial, monument where they honor the fallen. This one had a lot of religion involved in it. And you can stop by and read a couple of their stories. They're short, they're simple, they're not too long, and that way you can understand a little bit better. Sometimes it has some influence with, in this case, like with the church itself, some pastors that have been out in war in the front lines, some priests. So it's good to educate yourself a little bit and get to know these people that have given their lives for their country. So let's get into it. This museum in particular is like an underground labyrinth. It's a little bit confusing at first. I did get, I wouldn't say lost inside, but I would get rerouted a few times, especially if it's your first time there. I sometimes would get a little confused and be like, okay, I already went through here, I already went there. But I did film a good portion of it, so that way if you understand it better. And it does give you that feeling inside of how old this labyrinth is. There are a lot of museum pieces in here, and on this part I actually had to crouch a bit because it was kind of small, but you can still get like that taste of how this used to be back like in the medieval days, let's put it that way. So every brick, every stone is unique. I mean, you could just think of the manpower that it took to build all this. And in every hallway, you would see items. On this room in particular, it had the actual city of how it was. And that way, you can kind of orient yourself of how things were. Like always, there's like walls built around the main city center, and it's interesting to see like an overview 3D of how the place used to look like. Now it is a little bit dark in some areas, but even though I'm using a camera, your eyes would adjust to the darkness in some spots, and there are lights along the way, so it's a bit hard to get fully lost. So here is a coffin as well. There's a few of them inside, so you'll get to see not just this one. Like I said, I don't always show everything, but I am getting a little bit tired, so I am going to go to another museum in a little while after I take a break.
So I'm taking a little break right now. I've been walking actually for hours, so I've been showing you a couple of museums here and there. I don't want to show everything inside because the idea is that you come and you look at it. There was a museum where I could film the whole thing, they didn't mind, but I feel like it's best that I just show you snippets of it. That way it motivates you more to come and see it and learn. And that's one thing that I love about museums, that you learn no matter what it is. But anyway, I'm taking a break right now. I'm resting. I got some resting in front of the church, I guess. There's a lot of benches everywhere, actually. And places you can rest, a lot of places you can sit and just chill for a while. But anyway, I'm going to continue. I don't have much time right now left here because I have to go catch a train, so I'm basically trying to kill time. Then I'll have lunch, and then I'll head out again. So with that said, I mean, if you're enjoying these videos, like always, like and subscribe. That way it motivates me more to make more videos, to show more of these videos, and that way you know what to expect when you come here. So these museums, I know I've already repeated myself, but just in case, these are in the city of Lviv, and Lviv in Ukraine, and there's a lot of them. A lot, by what I mean, a lot of museums here. And especially now that it's during the war, they've actually promoted more stuff, so you get to see a lot more things actually on the streets as well.
Now we move on to the Ancient Lviv Museum, which is partially similar to like a wax museum. So it is a little more interactive, and you can see the clothing and how people used to dress back in the days. I was first checking out to make sure that this was the right place, because like I've mentioned before, there are so many museums. So I was making sure that this was the one that I was in search of. And I totally and highly recommend you come to this one because it's pretty unique and it's very different from your average museum.
Some of the rooms actually have props that you can wear. That way you can take pictures with the figurines. Now I'm not doing it because I'm by myself. It's kind of stupid for me to try to take a picture like that. So in this one, I was able to take pictures and videos as long as I don't touch anything. So once again, I'm only going to show a little bit because the idea is that you come and experience this for yourself. So I'm going to take a long time viewing this one because I'm going to be reading a lot of things.
If you're really into like medieval weapons and shields and armor, this is a museum that you would not want to miss out on because there is so much of it. A lot of these museums are self-guided. On some you can get a guide, but honestly, I prefer to just go on my own, so that way I can take the time reading the things that I actually find more value in and things that I admire mostly. There's a lot of basically people, faces, and history between them. You won't get bored in this museum. I mean, there's a lot to look at, and like I said, since these are like life-size mannequins, let's put it that way, or wax figures, you do get more immersed into it, and it makes you feel a little bit different when you're looking at things. And you can kind of judge the height too of how some of these individuals used to be. So don't miss this museum. I really recommend it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see videos like these here only on the Richter Show. See you on the next City Review.
to the house, the Richter. This the Richter show, the Richter show.